This is the journey to one Africa. Single day. Right now, as I'm saying, one of the updates that is happening in Niger, 17 soldiers have been killed already in Niger right now. 17 soldiers have been killed, and they say it's by terrorist group. Somewhere nearby the boundary, 17 innocent soldiers have been killed. By who? By the terrorist group. That's what the news say. Are we going to trust that? I ain't gonna trust that. And why soldiers are dying like that? Is this, I don't know what is happening. 17 soldiers have been done. These 17 soldiers, guys, okay, let me say this. Not 17 soldiers, because that's what the news say. Let me say this. 17 Africans have been killed at the borders of Niger. And this has happened just in 24 hours. 17 Africans, 17 brothers, and I don't know if they had sisters, but brothers have been killed. 17 soldiers. That's what you see. You know, most of the time when you see 17 soldiers, what you think about, oh, soldiers are, yeah, soldiers, they can die. They go to a war, yeah, they can die. They can lose their life. But no. Let me remind you that these soldiers are actually African. Actually, people like me and you have been killed at the borders of Niger. Who killed them? That's $1 million question. But I'm telling you, we are going to continue to see things like this again and again and again if we do not demand one Africa right now. And if you're joining Swahili Nation for the first time, because I see these comments a lot of time, people say, ah man, having one Africa, you're talking about having one government. And I always say this, guys, all right, if you're joining here, don't just jump to conclusion. It's like you're going to somebody's house and you go all the way to the kitchen to find what does this person have. No, you can't do that. When you go to somebody's house, you chill a little bit, you listen. You observe a little bit to understand how things are being run, to understand what is this about. But if you come, you see me here talking about God, be like, God, guys, Africa need God. And then all of a sudden just jump, oh, I don't like that. It's about this and this. This is what colonizers, then you are missing the whole point. You need to chill, you need to observe, to understand where this is coming from. All right? You need to understand that. So for you, in order for you to understand that, of course, you need to stay here for a while to go through the videos that we've done in the past, to understand our mission, our vision, and what we are really doing, you know, to see that one Africa that we need right now. So if 17 Africans have been killed in these past 24 hours, we are going to see a lot of more death in Africa, not just in Niger, but other countries. In Burkina Faso, it happened as well. And we're going to see in so many other countries in Africa, if we do not realize that one Africa is the answer, one Africa is the solution right now. So I have, this was a bad news. I started to share with you guys bad news of our soldiers being killed. But I also want to share with you guys good news, all right? I have bad news and I have good news. So bad news is that so our people, Africans, brothers have been killed. 17 of them, guys. 17. That's not a small number. 17 have been killed. That's bad news. The good news is this, that so a couple of days ago, and we need to acknowledge this, all right? I'm not hypocrite. So every time when we see good news, we also, you know, we also celebrate that. So a couple of days ago, AU, this one mission called Peace and Security Council, they had a meeting, and they say intense meeting. They had an intense meeting for 10 hours long. For 10 hours long, AU Security Council, they had their meeting. And this is the conclusion that they came up with. They oppose any military actions of Ecowas or any other country in Africa towards Niger. So for that, it's a good news. It's a good news. I know I bash on AU all the time, most of the time, but for this, I gotta say that it's a good news. If Ecowas, they were ready to invade Niger with military actions and everything, and AU, they had intense meeting for 10 hours talking about this crisis, and they came up with the one say that we don't want any military intervention to Niger. What does that mean? All right, if they say, if ECOWAS, they say we're going to invade, and AU, they say, okay, you guys go ahead, you know, redeem democracy. What has happened? You give go ahead. Remind you that ECOWAS have been supporting, but also international organization and EU and all these other, you know, other countries, France and so on and so forth. So if they're going in a war with the coup in Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso, that means they're not going alone. That means they have support. They have support behind them that they're going to fight these people. So obviously, that means France is there. That means, you know, United States are there. And these guys, they have military bases there as well. So you know what is going to happen. So AU standing up and say, you know what, we don't want any military intervention to Niger, regardless of whatever that is happening. We want to, yes, want to restore democracy in Niger, but we don't want military intervention. Basically, they are stopping ECOWAS. They're stopping all this foreign intervention that you guys cannot, no, you cannot fight on our land. So for that, kudos to AU. That is the right move. That is the right strategy, because we cannot continue to allow our land to be a place of battleground and casualties and collateral damages of our people. We cannot allow that. So for that, that is a good news for me. I don't know what you guys, how you guys are feeling about that, but for me, I gotta send this good news direct to AU that it is a good news and it is the good move. But also another thing that they've done, not only that, but also, this is not a good news, I think it's somewhere there. They suspended Niger to all activities related to AU right now. So ECOWAS, they sanctioned Niger, put sanction, cut electricity. AU, they suspended Niger out of the African Union. That, okay, whatever that is happening right now, you guys are suspended. You cannot, you know, you cannot continue, you cannot do anything. You're suspended because you guys are doing this illegally. That's what they have decided. So even though they stopped military intervention to Niger, but they've also stopped them from attending all the activities conducted by AU. So I don't know how you guys are going, are seeing that. I think, okay, this is what I think. I think, I'll tell you what I feel. My personal opinion, you know, you can agree or you can disagree. It's kind of like sanction. It's kind of like a form of sanctioning that, okay, you guys, we ain't gonna cooperate with you right now until you decide to do something else. Until you do otherwise, we're not gonna cooperate with you. You guys are on your own. But we're going to stop anyone to intervene and to fight with you. No, we're going to stop that, but you guys are on your own. Figure out what you're gonna do. Yeah. That's why it's very important. That's why a lot of people are talking about, you know, AU reformation, because, and I think if you guys have got a chance to go through our petition, you will see what we have suggested. What we have suggested to AU basically is AU reformation. It's telling them that, okay, you guys, you need to reform, because if something happened in Africa, in one of the countries in Africa, you guys must have a say. You guys must have a way out of whatever conflict that is happening in Africa. If you're just going to stop and be like, okay, you guys, we are cutting you off, you guys do whatever that you want to do. No, 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 it doesn't work like that. You guys must have a say. But AU right now, it doesn't have any power to do anything, you know. And so it needs a lot of reformation in order for them to get back to the ground, you know what I'm saying? So these are a few of the good news and bad news that is happening in Niger right now. And things are getting worse, to be honest. Things day by day, it's getting worse. And that's why yesterday we came with this petition. I want to share with you guys this petition and show you how many signatures do we have so far. This right now, so far, we have 605 signatures. Let me ask you guys who are watching right now, if you guys signed this petition, not only signed, have you guys read, because this is what I said, read, sign, share. Read, sign, share. Read, sign, share. Why read? Because you must understand, you have to know what we are talking about. If we just, you just see One Africa right now, you have to know what do we mean by One Africa right now. And at the beginning, we had like the entire, it was really long thing. And we got a little bit of, you know, suggestions that, oh, this is too long. It's hard to read and all those stuff. And then, so we decided to cut it down a little bit, because what we had before, let me show you here, guys. What we had before right here, we had before preamble, before scope, we had a very we had a place that we show everything about AU Vision 2063, 40 years from now. And also we had a session that we show African Free Trade Area, because everything that we wrote, it's coming from there. So basically we're saying that, okay, you guys have promised A, B, C, D, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is what you promised, but these are the problems and recommendations we see in what you say. These are the problems that we see in everything that you've suggested, and these are our recommendations, our demands that we think we should take to move forward towards the One Africa. So